Hello and welcome everyone. So I'll be explaining the recent Codeforces round 733 DIV1 plus DIV2 problem C named Pursuit. Basically in this problem, let's say two players or like two contestants, they're giving programming competition. It's let's say initially K stages of contests have completed. Now, after completing K stages, how will you, like each stage, the points will be distributed such as from 0 till 100 points, okay, for each and every stage. So, if K stage is completed, how would we like get the result of which player got what points, or how would we measure the total points? The way we're going to measure is that they've said that if K stage is completed, then you will take K minus K by 4 rounded down, okay, rounded down K by 4 stages with the highest scores that are selected. And they have also described how are we gonna like count the number of points, like total number of points, if we complete K stages. They've given like that. If 9 stages are completed, out of those 9, we know that 9 minus 9 by 4 is definitely 7 stage. So the descending 7 stages of points you're going to add for each and every player, and then you're going to compare which one of them gets the highest amount of points and not. Now, assume that you are player A and your friend is player B, or like contestant number B. What you have to do is you have to assume that n stages are completed. After the n stage is complete, you know the points you and your friend got, or like player A and B got. Now your goal is to get at least greater than or equal to a point than your friend. Okay, your goal is this, and you have to do that, and you are asked that what is the smallest number of additional stages that you can add. Now, one thing to notice is that why they have said additional stages is that initially n stages will be completed, but if needed for you to get if any situation occurs that even after completing the n stages you are not getting enough points to go further from player B, then you can add additional stages, okay, and you can manipulate the points on your own way. That's how they have described that, okay. So I will describe in the example for sure. So yeah, let's see. That's exactly what we have to do. If it doesn't fit after completing n stages, we are allowed to do more stages and manipulate the points, the upcoming stages points, on our own ways, such that we have to make it as quickly as possible with the minimum number of additional stages. I hope you get that. Now, the input is going to be like T, the test cases, N, the number of completed stages. And yeah, initially, if it's already like your point is greater than or equal to your friend's point, then the answer will definitely be 0 because you're not adding additional stages. Yeah, so basically that's it. Now, let's take one example, then we can really do this in a really like explain the solution. Let's take this example here. Let's say you have got point of like what, 20, 30, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And your opponent got all 100 points. Okay. Opponent meaning player B is getting all 100 points. 100, 100, and 100. Okay, so basically here n is like what, 4. Now if you do the initial operations, you will see that 4 minus 4 by 4 is what, 3. So initially, if you count the points of yours and your friends, it boils down to your friend gets 300 points and you get what, like 50 plus 40 equal to 90, 100, 110, 112, 120. So as you can see, 120 is definitely less than 300. So basically you are definitely required to you definitely need to add some stages. Now when you add like extra edges, like extra stages, you could take any of the values, but you need the minimum one, right? Yeah. Now the question is, here we have to we have to analyze in a greedy way. How do we like analyze, or like how do we manipulate the points such that we could get our point as early as possible, the required point, which is gonna make us further from our friend, right? So basically the way it works is that we won't add or the way we should like approach this is that we could add 0.02, right? So it's like it's really obvious and optimal that you will always add extra stages point equal to 0 for your friend, right? And from your perspective, you will always try to add new stages points as 100 individual, as the points can always be from 0 to 100. So it does make sense that you the more stages that you are going to build, you will get the maximum points, such that you don't require, or like you require the minimum number of additional stages. I hope you get my point. There you go. Now exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take n equal to 5. Yes, I have extended 1 stages. And by doing so, I know that I'm going to add, like 1 extra point for my friend, which is definitely going to be 0. Nothing else. Okay, 1 extra point is 0. And for yourself, or like for contested number A, I could add 100. So 100 comes first because it's a greater, right? Now let's count. What does it give? 5 minus 5 by 4. 5 by 4 is 1. 5 minus 1, what? 4. Let's take the first 4 value, which is 100, 150, 140. Like 150 plus 40 means 190. Like 210. Okay, 210 is not a good option for sure. Like 200 and what? 190. Oh, sorry, 220. Yeah. So when you take n equal to 5, you get the total result for player A or yourself as 220 points. What about your friend? We will always take the greater, like the descending greater values, right? So we're gonna see that even though I have like added the 0-point result here, but there's also 100 points left, so it does have to be counted. So the first 400 values becomes 400. Still, you cannot do that. You're not able to do that. Okay, doesn't matter. We're gonna increase once again. Now from 5, let's talk about 6. If n is 6, think about it. 6 minus 6 by 4. What does it give? 5. So we're going to take the first 5 highest value of A. Now, one thing to notice, new stage means new point. So for player B or your friend, you will add 0 point, and for player A, which means yourself, you will add 100 points. That's obvious. Now, technically, that does give 420 points ultimately for yourself or your perspective. But your friend gets 400 plus 0 points. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It gives 400 points. Now think about it. 420 is greater than 400. So you've got your greater n, the ultimate greater n. Now what is the additional stages that you had to add? And you had to manipulate the points in order to get the additional unit as minimum as possible. What is the value? Earlier, what was the n? Like, what was the n? Like, it was what? 6, 5, like what? Okay, let's see. Yeah, it was what? 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, right? Oh, sorry, I think I made a mistake here. Not 6, not for 6. Okay, if n is equal to 6, the total value that you get is 320. Sorry, not 220, 320. Okay, so you get 320. Still, you cannot get over. But if you, but after that, like now, if you make n equal to 7, then you get 1 extra 100. So 320 plus 100 becomes 420. Now 420 does happen when n is equal to 7. Now for n is equal to 7, your friend always gets 400 because after completing or after getting this point, the rest of the point is 0. You don't need to work for them. Like, you don't need to work for those values. So I hope you get that. But yeah, for n equal to 7, the ultimate result comes, right? So I hope you got the process. I made a slight mistake back then. Yeah. Yeah, so basically for n equal to 7, that 7 minus 7 by 4, definitely it gives 6. So you will take the first 6 values, adding those, and you'll get your result eventually. Okay, now the question is, I used binary search. How did I use binary search? Here, basically what I did, I know that if I get my result within my desired n, then the answer is 0. If it's not, then I know that my lower limit could be n plus 1 till the higher limit. Higher limit I took 10 to the power 9 up to. Now I'm considering each and every possible n that I'm gonna make, each and every possible total stages that I'm gonna make. For each and every possible total stages, if I get a possible result or a possible function like solve, if I could make that happen, which will denote that yes, I have conquered the points in order to get as high as possible, in order to get at least greater than or equal to the player B or the contestant B. Okay, yeah, that does refer to the positive result. If that does happen, then I'm gonna make R equal to mid. Mid is the the mid value of L and R. I hope you get that. In binary search, that's what we do, right? If it doesn't fit, which means that we're not still getting the result, then I'm gonna make L equal to mid. That's obvious because we have to go further. We have to take more values, more stages. That does refer. Now, what is the solve function doing inside my binary search? The solve function is basically simply just run a big of n loop, and we just I just tried to make. Let me show you the code part. You'll understand more. There you go. Okay. Yeah. So as I've told you, yeah, this is the sort part. Okay, we're gonna sort here, sort the two arrays, descending order, and yeah, this is the zero case when the answer is gonna be 0. Otherwise, L will be n, R will be 10 to the power 9 up to value. Now, as we're doing inside my while loop, R minus L greater than 1. That's why L is equal to n. Otherwise, we would have done that n plus 1. But I do it in a different way, like just taking one extra value just to be safe. That's why L equal to n. But in terms of range, it's going to be n plus 1 till R. Okay? And yeah, n plus 1 till R, and R will be like denoted as 10 to the power 9 up to. Now, this is where we're talking about the solve function. If the solve function is true, then R equal to mid, otherwise L equal to mid. What is the solve function doing? I'm actually measuring for possible stages. I will calculate what is the possible point player or contestant A can get and contestant B can get. So for contestant B, I know what I have to do. I have to just add the required values that I need, and for the rest of the part, I'm going to add 0. That's exactly what I did, right? And the other part for player A, which means yourself, what you have to do, you just have to find out what is the required value. Think about it, just in terms of, like, let's see, like for player, think about it, this is for player A, let's say. Now, this was the previous n, and let's say this is my resulting k. Okay? Now, for player A, what will be the desired points? Now, we know that when we add the result, we don't take the whole stage. We take k minus k by 4. So this k minus k by 4 could be here, or it could be here, right? These two possible values, it could be. So if the k minus k by 4 value is here, then you know that for this part, for this rest of the part, you have to add 100, right? You have to add 100 for this part. Oh, sorry, not this part. K minus k by 4, which means this part. Yeah, you will only add this part. This definitely, this part is gonna get within your answer. Okay, for like what, for player A or contestant A, if that cut point is inside n, then what you have to do, you have to add extra, like you have to add for this part, for this extra part, you have to add 100 times something, like this value, what it measures is, and the extra part that is inside your initial n, you have to add that too. For problem B, what you have to do, you don't have, like for player B, what you have to do, you don't have to do much, because you know that for the rest of the values, if the like temporary value is increasing more than n, you don't have to add for those, because you know that if it's more than n at the temporary value for player B or for contestant B, you will add 0. That's exactly what you're going to do. I hope I made you understand that what I'm actually trying to do inside the solve function. Yeah, I hope I made you understand that. Yeah, that's how I actually did this problem. So yeah, till next time, goodbye. I hope I made you understand. Yeah, till next time, goodbye.